final agenda setting for the service chiefs following confirmation by the Nigerian Senate, as we've just been told by Omo Bazwaye. We are now joined by Kabiru Adamu, a security expert. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
My pleasure, Adisa.
I wonder if you watched the screening process today. We had some
keenly, actually.
Keenly, great, fantastic. So it makes the job easier.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some big promises made today. The new service chief said they will rebuild morale, modernize operations, and rely less on foreign weapons because they plan to build locally. I mean, in your assessment from what you heard today and what you watched keenly, if they had to make the quickest and visible impact for Nigerians to see, what would that be? What would that single thing be that they need to do?
So the mandate of the military is spelled out in Section 217 of the Constitution. Now, sadly, the military's responsibility, only one component of it has to do with internal security. And even that one, it is stated that they are there to support the civilian departments, MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies. Now, because the challenge we have is one of internal security, and the expectations on them by Nigerians is to solve that challenge. In simple response to your question, is to bring down those internal security challenges. But this is the difficulty. They are only there to support the civil departments, because that's what the Constitution says. So I feel they need to be extremely truthful to themselves and to Nigerians. And in during the confirmation hearing today, I heard the Chief of Defense Staff actually mentioning that.
Make a case for the police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that was interesting to hear.
So, and he was being real.
Yeah.
So these are the aspects that I'm hoping that as they progress, because those 3 C's that are important in the national security enterprise, which is cooperation, coordination, and collaboration, we need to see those 3 C's enhanced. And I'm delighted that the immediate past service chiefs actually build on that. So the emphasis for this 4 is to actually pick up from where the other 4 left, or rather 3, because one of them is still there.
Yeah. But I mean, very interesting. And let's stay with that point, a very important point made by the CDS nominee. We still refer to him as a nominee until, of course, He says that, look, while Nigeria's security system, is threatened, that their mandate, the mandate of the military, is to protect Nigeria against external aggression. But that the police needs urgent, he underscored that point, urgent restructuring for the Nigerian police. And what kind of restructuring should we be expecting for the Nigeria police to actually, hold its place in protecting Nigeria internally? And of course, the point of resources, that it's just not enough. The enablers are not enough.
I have my reserves regarding resources.
Okay.
Yeah, but let me respond to the first part of your question, which is about policing. There are 2 aspects that the current administration, would be looking at. First is what it inherited. It inherited community policing, and the structure. The policy and the structure for community policing is already in place. There is the police community police committees that is at the level of local governments. All the 774 local governments have those committees. And I mean, left to me, that can work perfectly. Those committees are made of representatives from different segments of the society. The second component is the police constables that have been recruited actually across all the local government. So that is what this administration inherited. But then what it promised is state policing.
Right.
Now, if I were to ask, just like you asked me, let's work with what we have. We already have community policing in place. So let's activate it. Now, while we're waiting for the state police, if at all it's going to happen, but it doesn't make sense to me that we've not actualized community policing and we're already discussing state policing. And frankly, we are not moving fast enough for community policing.
Right.
Now, with regards to police reform, unfortunately, I would describe what we've seen over the years from probably 1970s till date as cyclical attempts at police reform. Even today, that's what we're having, cyclical. So if we're serious about police reform, It's simply to define what do we mean by policing. At the moment, there are balkanized elements of the Nigeria police force. The MPF itself, name them. So many organizations that are carrying out policing functions, but they are not tied down on one. The irony is that some of them are under Ministry of Police Affairs, others are under Ministry of Interior. And sadly, there is no handshake between the two ministries. So that's what we need to address. And I was very happy listening to the Chief of Defense Staff. He made a valid point. We need to look back, and he made that point in the National Assembly. They have responsibility to review our laws. So they need to look critically at this balkanized nature of the Nigerian police. And frankly, if we are moving from community policing to state police, it should have happened yesterday. So the decision needs to be taken as speedily as possible.
When you talk about, very quickly, before you respond to the issue of resources, say you have your reservations. When you talk about balkanization of the police, are you talking about the NDLEA, EFCC, and all the other
all of them, all of them carrying out policing functions, but then in different departments. I mean, we have. I can use Germany as an example. You have one police that is carrying out even something as critical as immigration. So a police department is actually responsible for immigration. But in our own case, we have almost 10 of them, but yet we are not satisfied with what they are doing. So the problem is probably not one of the organization; it's the structure itself. What we need is reform. Security sector reform. With regards to funding, Ngozi, there are too many. No, I don't agree. There are too many leakages within the system.
What are they?
We had a senator who stood up in the red chambers and said for every month the police realizes 10 billion naira. Till date, he has not been challenged. So the problem is that the funding, the monies are there, but they are not being captured. They are going probably to people's pockets.
All right, Dr. Kebbi, we need to wrap up. You know, some Nigerians will even say we don't have enough police, but the few we have, the VIPs, are the ones having them to themselves. Let me ask you very quickly. Air Vice Marshal Aneke wants a smart, precise, intelligence-driven Air Force, relying more on drones and technology. But listen to all the nominees today. They made the case for improved synergy. Is that so much of a problem at the moment? And why has that been so difficult to realize? And when you hear the CDS talk about relying on localized weapons, is that realistic? I mean, how far are we from that?
So the policy imperative of the Bola Tinubu administration, one of the policy imperatives is to increase local production of equipment by 40% in 2027. So they were right. They obviously read the policy direction of the government and repeated it, during the consultation. This is what the government is doing, and frankly, the government has done a lot.
The process hasn't even started.
Well, no, it has. It's gone far. They've signed agreements with different countries. I think the latest is with a UAE company for the production of drones. So all of that is going very well. We're even exporting, from what I'm hearing, ammunition to some African countries. So we're doing very well.
So we're on track.
But you need to land on the other part of the question.
We have to live with that.
No, you need to land on the other part of the question, which is the synergy. That's what's hats on.
Earlier on, I spoke about the 3 Cs, and I did say that the immediate past, it is a huge problem. There are 27 or 29 ministries, departments, and agencies in security. Let me just give you a very small example. The weapons and ammunition that are coming in from the Sahel into Nigeria, it's not the responsibility of the military. So even if the military is doing a stellar job, as long as the organization that has responsibility for border security does not improve, then we're not going to go anywhere. So that's why the 3 Cs are absolutely very critical. Important. But then the beauty, and let me make this my last statement, the National Assembly need to strengthen their instruments for legislative oversight, because they have the responsibility to make sure these 29 MDAs are doing very well. I hope by the next time you invite me, we'll talk about how to strengthen
that.
We will definitely have you back.
Thank you so much, Kabir Adamu, security expert, joining us on Newsline.